Contestant number 2, Toastmaster Mohammed El Isa, The Blind Spot. Toastmaster Mohammed El Isa, The Blind Spot.
Parents, do you know how your children truly feel about you? Before you say yes, think twice. Are you sure? Madam Curtis Chair, ladies and gentlemen, 10 years ago, I was sitting in the living room watching TV. My daughter, who was 15 at the time, came in yelling, "Daddy, can you please help me find my phone? I misplaced it somewhere here." "Sure, sweetheart," I said as I picked my phone. I dialed her number. We both waited excitedly for a few seconds before hearing something ringing. The sound was very close. I just inserted my hand in the couch, and there it was. We both had this victory smile. It's pleasant to find something that has been hiding, but not always. When I looked at the lit screen of her ringing mobile, I was shocked. The name she selected for me was awful. She named me No, and with 5 O's. I raised, supported, and loved, had been thinking all along that I was the biggest stumbling block in her life, yet I was thinking I was the greatest dad in the world. How blind. I looked at her, and in that moment I felt like I was discovering a new person for the first time. I yelled at her, "You ungrateful daughter! You call me No? And I'm the one who voted yes to your existence in life?" Daddy, please don't get me wrong. I'm grateful to everything you did, and you did a lot for me, but every time after a big, fat no at the beginning. No, this is not true! Maybe I said it a couple of times, but you know how much I care for you. You see, Dad, you just did it now. You started with the big no, and then you said the nice things. No more discussion with you! She left, but remained here, a great soul. And up there, a persistent question. How come I was so blind about the true feelings of my own daughter? Next morning, I was behind the steering wheel driving to the office, and there was a slow truck in front of me. Preparing to overtake the truck, I glanced at the rear view mirror and at the 2 side view mirrors. The road was clear. The minute I turned the steering wheel, I heard a big beep. I went back and a car zipped like a bullet, and I was like, wow, that was a close call. Before recovering from the shock, the other angry driver had slowed down, rolled down his window and shouted, "Are you blind?" Blind? Did he say blind? Yes, I was blind. Because I relied on those mirrors, and we all drivers know that mirrors have physical limitations. They show us all the objects around us except those very close objects to us. I realized it the hard way, that in our life, we parents have similar blind spots. While we know the feelings of many people around us, we tend to be blind about the feelings of the closest people in our lives, our children. There are barriers that prevent us from knowing their feelings. Barriers from outside, like overconfidence. We are their parents. We must know how they feel. They must know how much we love them. They must love us. Why ask them? And barriers from their side. Whenever we hurt their feelings, respect and fear prevent them from confronting us with how they truly feel. And not knowing how they feel, we continue hurting them. It never occurred to me that a bad habit like saying no could create a deep wound in a little sweetheart of mine. How can I prevent similar damages to her and her brothers and sisters? I went back to the driving school. They teach us there, never rely on what we think we see in the mirrors. Do something extra. Turn your head and have a direct look with no barriers to your blind spot. And this is what I decided to do. I decided to open a transparent dialogue without barriers. I installed in the living room a whiteboard, and I called it Dad Made Me Feel Bad. And I asked my children, every time I hurt their feeling, they go and report it in the book. When we started 10 years ago, the number of reported cases, guess how many? 23 per week. And now, it dropped drastically to 21. But we're getting there. One day we will be there. At least they know I'm trying. And they know how they feel. Parents, you can lead a much happier and safer life if you open a transparent dialogue and totally eliminate your parental blind spot. Back to you.
Let's observe 1 minute of silence for the judges to